Hey YouTube. Today I'm going to be discussing a book called Catcher in the Rye. It's by J.D. Salinger, and I think it's a great read, and I'm going to be reviewing it, but a warning, there are going to be a few spoilers here. Let's get right into it. One of the literary topics, or literary theories that we discussed this year was metaphysics, and I think this is very prevalent in the entire book. The protagonist talks directly to you. For example, near the end of the book, the protagonist, Holden Caulfield, says, "I wish you could have been here," talking to the reader. I think it's metaphysics because the protagonist is realizing that this is addressed to someone, and that someone is outside of the book. And I think that's really cool because not many books are written in second person. Most are in first or in third, but Salinger boldly decides to choose to write this book in second person, which is quite unique. Kind of contributes to one of the reasons why I like this book a lot. And that's saying a lot because I'm a pretty picky reader. Another literary topic that we discussed in class was the archetype. I think the archetype of the wise old man is prevalent in the beginning of the book. And I believe that archetype is displayed in Mr. Spencer's role. And this is Holden Caulfield, the protagonist's history teacher. Now, Holden Caulfield has flunked out of his high school. The book takes place after the Second World War, and the protagonist, Holden Caulfield, has flunked out of Pensy, which is the high school that he goes to. He seems to live at this place, so I guess it's some sort of boarding school. He has a very close relationship with the history teacher there, because he goes to see his history teacher, old Mr. Spencer, and Mr. Spencer has a talk with him. A very non-condescending, truthful talk. Kind of lay it all on the table type talk that he failed. He didn't have Holden come in to scold him. He wanted to advise him and be the wise old man that he is, and kind of help Holden with his future. He tells him to apply himself at school instead of ditching classes. Now, the style of the book is really interesting. It talks directly to the reader. Also, the protagonist is very teenager-like. That really reflects in the way that he writes, because he's very sarcastic, very mean, quick to judge, has a lot of prejudices against a lot of people, judges people quite quickly. Kind of the worst of teenager qualities that one can get. But despite that, he can be, in a way, relatable to most of his adolescent audience. Say, for example, me, I'm a teenager, I can kind of relate to his angst, his teen angst, I guess. His anger towards the world and towards people that kind of seem unnecessary, but it's there. Despite the fact that Holden is a very pessimistic person, he still has very strong familial values. He loves his sister Phoebe, and unfortunately his brother Ali passed away when he was quite young of leukemia. And he has his baseball mitt that has a lot of poems on it that Ali wrote. Holden describes Ali as a very smart kid, and he describes most of his siblings, if not all of them, with great passion and great love and affection, which I think speaks towards Holden's priorities, just to see like where his head is at in his life, what kind of person he is. It's a great judge of character. I think due to the fact that Holden Caulfield is a teenager and it's written in the style of a teenager, no big vocabulary words are used in this book. I guess that's a technique that the author used to make it authentic. No teenager really that is as rebellious as Holden would use such big words, such big vocabulary. One object that I'm particularly interested in is the red hunting cap. Holden is inexplicably drawn towards it. He likes to wear it. But what about what it could mean from an analytic perspective? I think that maybe the red hunting cap could represent a piece of Holden. In the end, that piece is given to Phoebe. Yet again, this shows his enormous amount of love for his sister Phoebe, in that he's giving a piece of himself to Phoebe to remember him by. Another thing that may have symbolic meaning is the carousel at the end, especially when melted with a happy memory, an impactful memory, like Phoebe seeing Holden potentially for the last time, or for the last time in a long time. It wouldn't be reaching to assume that the carousel has some sort of meaning. I believe that that meaning could be life, although it has obstacles, will keep on going. That's all. I really hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If not, let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks very much for giving me your time. Peace.